All right, Shemai, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Akkad, Shemai, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Akkad, Shemai, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Akkad, Barakat Yahweh, Barakat Yahweh Shai, Barakat Yahweh, Barakat Yahweh Shai, Barakat Yahweh, Barakat Yahweh Shai, Bahashon Chakudash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. I also want to say peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right. Hey, shalom to you brothers and sisters who are tuning in to this live stream. All right, I'm Zahar, Spirit Wind Levi. All right, today I want to go into a topic within the live stream entitled The Planet Earth in its Current Unfriendly Estate. All right. And I'm going to start off with Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, then where and who is he? All right. So we know who the wicked is. Esau Edom. It's not a white man. It's not a Caucasian. His real biblical identity is Esau Edom. Okay. And what he's done is continue the downfall of the planet Earth. All right. Now, rooted in the transgression of Adam, was the beginning of the slow decline of the planet Earth. All right. After the transgression of Adam, all right, came the slow decline of the planet Earth. But from the time of the creation to the time of the flood, the earth was in her prime, right? Even after the transgression, earth was only on a slow decline. So from the time of the creation, from the time of Adam and the Adamites to the time of the flood was a phase of earth being in her fertile prime, all right? Just like a woman being in her fertile youth and looking back at her glory years when she was like 20, all right, compared to her being 60 with different illnesses and diseases. Okay, so during the time of Adam, from the time of Adam to the time of the flood, the earth was not like the earth was not in its current, so like the earth was not like its present state, man. All right, in the beginning, the earth was not in its present state. For example, all right, in the book of Genesis, the book of 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, around the 40th verse, it goes into the 3rd day. It tells you that Yahweh Bahashim Habashai, well, really the Allahayim gave the command. Okay, the Allahayim gave the command, but Bakashava, a brother could get it if it's enough brothers on the comment board. All right, where it said the Allahayim gave the command, 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, roughly around the 40th verse, and there grew innumerable fruit, all right, with all types of variety of taste and flavors. And if you cut open fruit and you slice them, you can tell even to this day, which they're simply a relic of the past, and they're a relic of the Diluvian world. All right, they look majestic. They have very eye-friendly colors, and even to this day, a lot of fruit still tastes good. All right, but it tells you in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, that when the Allahayim gave the command, right, there grew an innumerable amount of fruit. All right, because the planet Earth in its original state was people friendly. All right, it was paradise. The earth itself was paradise. It was created to be inhabited and be enjoyed ultimately by the sons of God, which were at that time the Israelites, but they were called the sons of God. All right, and it's speculated that when you go into the Greek history and Greek culture, when they go into the water, brother, when they go into the Zeus and the gods and the Olympians and all that stuff, is really an error, a misinterpretation, or a misprint of history, which really goes back to the sons of God. And if that's true, then that's talking about us. So you go into Greek history Even when you go into Egyptian history, you go into these ancient gods, right? It's really speculated that they're talking about the sons of God mentioned in the book of Genesis around the 6th verse. The sons of God going into the daughters of men. By the time the Grecians took a hold to the story, it was an exaggerated interpretation of Genesis. That's the speculation. All right. But during Genesis, well, the sons of God were actually, all right, at that time, the Israelites who were called the sons of God. All right, they went into the daughters of men. This is very similar to we being called the Moors, all right, during the time of Europe. And we went into the sons of men, which were, I'm sorry, we went into the daughters of the sons of men, all right, which were really the daughters of the other nations. King Solomon was an example of that because he had an affinity, all right, of the daughters from the sons of men. All right, but once again, it's speculated that when you go into the Greek culture and Greek history, when they go into Zeus and the Olympians, is actually an exaggerated interpretation of the book of Genesis where it goes into the sons of God, showing you the influence that we had on the planet back then. All right, this is 2nd Ezra 6 and 43. All right, from Ash Racha Yasha'Allah. Shalom to you, brother. For as soon as thy word went forth, the work was made. Verse 44. For immediately there was great and innumerable fruit, and many and diverse pleasures for the taste, and flowers of unchangeable color, and odors of wonderful smell. And this was done the 3rd day. Even perfume and cologne. When you look at the ingredients of perfume, are cologne, and then as you brothers and sisters know, like certain oils that you use, what do you use? You use flowers. Imagine being in the space, all right, between Adam and the flood and being on the earth back then, which we were, all right, being on the earth back then, and you could just walk on the earth and you can smell flowers. That's why I entitled this live stream The Unfriendly Earth, because the earth is not friendly primarily due to the transgression of Adam to the rulership of Esau Edom. He's accelerated Esau Edom through his rulership, all right, through his unsustainable rulership, all right, has accelerated the death of the planet Earth to the point where they're saying by 2050 there are parts of the earth that will not be inhabitable, like the Middle East. Some articles said like certain parts of West Africa, California, all right, it's going to be under fucking water, or it's going to be too hot to inhabit because this man's rulership. But in the time of the beginning, all right, scriptures tells you that the Most High reserved one part of the earth for water. So in the time of the first world, what they call the antediluvian world, the pre-flood world, all right, 6 parts of the earth was earth, and only 1 part was water. And he left that part to who? Leviathan. Okay? He left that part to who? Leviathan. All right? But that means the other 6 parts of the earth was people friendly. All right, it was inhabitable. Whereas now it's speculated that 90% of the earth is water? 90% of the earth is water, something to that effect. You know? Which that's not a very people friendly existence. Then you have certain continents that's not even really inhabitable because you have these extreme weather conditions, the extreme climate conditions, like Antarctica. But speaking of Antarctica, all right, now scientists are speculating that Antarctica was once an inhabitable jungle. Why was it called an inhabitable jungle? Because before the flood, Earth was Pangea. So that means Antarctica was a part of different parts of the earth. There was one part, and the earth was a paradise in which they would call the jungle. All right. But the flood apparently brought extreme climate, extreme weather conditions to where places like Greenland and Antarctica is uninhabitable, or is harsh climates that make it hard to inhabit. I'll say that because I think people are there, but it's not like people friendly. Okay. But I have reason to believe, and me and the brothers speculate, that places like Greenland and Antarctica is really frozen over because it's preserved for the kingdom. All right, places like Greenland and Antarctica are preserved for the kingdom, because what does ice do? It's covered in ice. But what does ice do? It preserves. You put food in a deep freezer, all right, to preserve it. So Most High has very precious things in store for the elect, all right, if we endure. All right, and it's preserved with ice, and those missiles, we've been speculating, is going to melt their ice, all right, and it's going to make places like Antarctica, Greenland, inhabitable, all right, and it's going to also uncover those precious resources that are in Greenland and Iceland, all right, Greenland, I'm sorry, and Antarctica, okay. But going back to 2nd Ezra 6:43, for as soon as that word went forth, the work was made. For immediately there was a great and innumerable fruit, and many and diverse pleasures for the taste, and flowers of unchangeable color, and odors of wonderful smell. And this was done the third day. This was done the third day. And it's just one out of the 6 days of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh's creation on his globe. On his globe, man. The Most High so bad, because in that same chapter it tells you that the Most High took the waters, all right, and divided the waters within the firmament. So within the firmament, Yahweh Bahasham, the firmament is basically a globe, all right. Like you might have a fish tank, right, and that fish tank shapes like a globe. You know those little old school fish tanks, all right, shapes like a globe. But imagine Yahweh Bahasham Hawashai taking that water within his globe, all right, and dividing it and saying the top part is going to be in the firmament. We're going to call this the sky, or what the scriptures call the firmament, and the bottom part is going to be in the earth. But then he took that bottom part and put it in one part of the earth. The other 6 parts was inhabitable land. All right, the earth was very people friendly back then. And it's also speculated through a particular author, I forget his name, but he has a book called, I think, Atlantis in a Pre-Diluvian World, so roughly paraphrasing. But it basically, he speculates that the pre-diluvian Atlantis was part of the pre-diluvian world. If Atlantis is real, it's part of the pre-diluvian world. And the reason why Atlantis was so talked about is because of the technology advancement at that time. Because contrary to popular belief, all right, when the Most High civilized Adam, all right, through the laws, through his way, all right, the world became very civilized. That's how the sons of Cain built instruments, and they took the resources and made iron. And also it tells you that Cain built cities, man. All right, Cain built cities. All right, so in order to build a city, you have to be intelligent, and you have to have civilization. Cities create civilizations. All right, so there were cities within this paradise. Okay, but it's speculated that Atlantis, what everybody calls this myth, are speculated that that might have been one of the cities, all right, within the pre-diluvian world. It's also been speculated that because of the space that it existed, which is about 1,600 years between the creation and the flood, was about 1,600 years, and the amount of time that people lived on the planet Earth, it's speculated that the population of the Earth was between 750 million and 4 billion people at that time. Okay? So you have to understand, in the book of Peter, where it talks about how the first world was made and destroyed, the Most High literally destroyed the population. He literally wiped out, clean slate, a whole population of people, man. He clean slated a whole civilization. Just like now, just imagine all the 7 continents. Just imagine America and Africa and Asia and India and Europe being wiped the fuck out like it never happened, and only preserving 8 people, man. 8 people. It's about 7 billion to 8 billion people on Earth right now. And just imagine clean slating everybody and leaving about 8 people. And that's what the Most High is going to do with these curses that's about to inhabit the earth, these pestilences, these plagues, and ultimately the missiles are mainly centralizing in America. All right. But the Most High is going to save, there's going to be more inhabitants after these different things. But it tells you Like the sister got the title. I mean, she put in the comment, the grape of the cluster. The hopefully elect with the grape of that cluster. Because 2/3 of our people are going to die. Instead of it being a flood of water in America, it's going to be a flood of missiles. Hence, the description of America being what? The lake of fire. Okay? But what you see in the planet Earth right now, like right now, the sky is white, man. There's no white clouds in the sky in that time. All right? You see trees right now. You see trees right now. Where are the fruit on the trees? Where's the smell of the trees? I know I'm 30. I'm in my 30s. I'm 34. I remember being young and walking outside and seeing, what do you call it, honeysuckles, you know? And I know Jakes that grew up in the rural areas, and they would tell you, like, you could walk outside, man. You could smell the pine trees, man. All right, you could just walk outside of the rural areas in Mississippi, and you could eat the plums. You could eat the berries. Like, they'll go outside and play. They'll come back, man. All right, hit with plums and berries, man. I'm quite sure some of you brothers and sisters are familiar with that, man. All right. And that was 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. All right, my mother's generation, what they call a baby boom generation. My mother told me when she was a little girl, during so-called Christmas, they would have fruit baskets in the house. And when you walk in, all right, you can literally smell the fruit in the fruit basket. You can smell the oranges, or you can smell the peaches, man. When you walk in the house, you can smell the fruit basket, man. All right, so this man has accelerated the decline of the fucking planet, man. But how much more precious and brilliantly created was the planet Earth during the time of Adam, between the time of Adam and the flood? If you could recount 30 years ago and be like, man, we used to eat fruit, we used to eat muscadine and berries and cherries and all these different things. Greetings from North Carolina. I remember, hey, there you go. That's confirmation. If you could remember that from, your childhood memory, my mother being a part of the baby boom generation. So 50 years ago, 50, 60 years ago, you can remember, the earth was that much more healthier. How much healthier and brilliant and vibrant it was, all right, during the time of Adam, which they said that was like around 4000 BC, which is around 6,000 years ago. So how much, and that's like the first part of the earth, the first phase of the earth, because the earth was divided into 12 parts. So just imagine the first few parts of the earth, man, where the apostles, they get into the account where men had to carry, it took 2 men to carry grapes, man. 2 men to carry grapes. And they even got like certain Edomite hippies, all right, on the planet Earth right now. They have like little YouTube shorts, and they had like a giant banana. I don't know where they would be in the earth, but they would be somewhere on this planet. They'll eat like a giant banana, a giant mango, and it'd be big as hell. So just imagine the fruit back then. And right now you have fruitarians, right, who they pretty much are aware of the original way of eating back then, because it tells you in the book of Genesis, the 1st chapter, that let the fruit be your meat. The fruit was your meat. And there are thousands and thousands and thousands of variety of fruit. But the problem is, and there's one piece of information is missing, is that the earth, the soil of the earth is not like it was during the time of Eden. There's not enough minerals. The minerals, which the word mineral goes back into mine, the elements in the soil that you have to mine, okay? But the minerals, there's not enough minerals in the earth to really be a fruitarian now. It'll be hard as hell. Some people have pulled it off, but a lot of people have not pulled it off because there's not enough minerals in the planet Earth, man. Okay? So over a slow period of time, you might go into a state of the bodily degeneracy. All right, bodily degrading because you're not getting appropriate nutrients. But do know that in the beginning, our diet and our way we live was fruit. Even now, the majority of your diet is supposed to be vegetation. Even back in the old country, the average layman, the average person, the majority of their diet was, fruit, vegetables, bread, wine, grapes, but they ate fish. Now this is after the flood. We were permitted to eat meat. All right. But you have to remember, man, you have to put things in a historical context to the best of your ability, man. The earth was a paradise. All right, there's a documentary called The Days of Noah Before the Flood, and it brilliantly describes the planet Earth, how we cohabitated with dinosaurs. Contrary to scientific fucking lies, we did cohabitate with dinosaurs. Okay? It shows you how gemstones were sitting above the earth, all shiny. You didn't have to mine for gemstones because they were just sitting on top of the soil. That's why it was called the Garden of Eden, man. All right? It shows you the high vibration that men were on back in the old country. I'm sorry, back in the time of the flood, before the flood, how they had all type of innovations because the intelligence level, we were closer to Yahweh back then. So basically, the closer you are to Yahweh, the more civilized you are as a people. And the intelligence level of men back in the time of the flood, before the flood, was on a very high frequency. So they had civilizations back then. And to give historical context, it's basically said in this particular book, the Elder Kazaki Allah had the book, I forget the name, but it's basically said the sons of God, we fit into that because we were the judges back in that time. All right, that's why you call a judge what? A God. All right, we were judges over those different city states, and Adam, the Adamites, the sons of God, were over that. All right, over that particular world. Okay, which is why it's speculated that the Grecians took those accounts and exaggerated and make it sound like we were actual gods like Zeus and Olympians and all the other stuff. But they're really alluding back to the flood, which is, like I said, it's a historical speculation. Okay? But the point is that the earth right now is not like it was back in her prime. All right? Primarily because of the transgression of Adam, and presently because of this current rulership, which is accelerating the death of the earth. And that's why it tells you in Revelation that I will destroy him who destroyed the earth, man. Who's him that destroyed the earth? Them fucking them fucking small hats, man. I almost said it. They've been deleting my videos left and right. All right? But in the kingdom, all right? In the kingdom, man. In the kingdom, all right? We're going to enjoy the planet Earth. And the animals are going to go back to fearing the Israelites. We're going to go back to being sons of Yahweh, giving birth to nobles. All right, your sons and daughters, as it says in the scriptures, are going to play with serpents, man. In Jerusalem, lions are going to be like kittens to your sons and daughters, man. The nations are going to be in a state of obeisance to the Israelites, man. All right, it tells you that the fir trees and the cedar trees are going to rejoice once this cancer gets removed from the earth. What's this cancer that's causing the degrade of the planet Earth? Is Esau Edom's rulership. That's why it tells you that the physician cured what? A long disease. What's that long disease? This man's rulership. All right, from the 1500s, all right, to now. All right, and really going back to the 1300s to now, during the Renaissance to now. So this man has had a 700-year rulership. That's a long disease. And since his rulership, the earth has went into an accelerated decline. Even America, before them counselors came to America, called the Edomites, man. America was a romantic, the Americas was a very romantic place to be. And it wasn't the America that we geographically know today. All right? It was paradise. When the northern kingdom came over here fleeing the Assyrian captivity, all right, to have religious freedom, which is really keeping the laws. That's the real Puritans, the northern kingdom, the so-called Native Americans, all right, to pursue religious freedom, to worship Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. They came here to a paradise, man. And so that counselor came, all right, and that counselor, all right, he changed the geography of the Americas, because every animal that he brought over here, it affected the ecosystem. So this man brought cockroaches, he brought those German roaches, he brought those earthworms, which mess up the ecosystem. All right, he brought those big nasty rats. He brought that over here, man. The real wetbacks brought this over here, man. That's why the high descriptive melanin, because you're it's indicative of you being contrary to the earth, man, and your rulership is contrary to the earth. Your actions and behaviors is a very deviant, contrary to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's why I said the wicked are estranged from the womb. You are estranged from what? The laws of Yahweh, which bring forth civilization. So I says Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Another interpretation of being a plain man is a civilized man. An example of being civilized is the Iroquois Indians, who had laws that allowed them to cohabitate and be peaceful with other so-called Native Americans. All right, which was the foundation for what you call the U.S. Constitution, because we are innately civilized. When it says Jacob was a plain man, another word for plain, one of the synonyms is peaceful. Jacob was a peaceful man dwelling in tents, because contrary to our Frankenstein engineering through social construct, through so-called black exploitation, okay, it's a lot. All right, contrary to our social engineering, we have a peaceful disposition. Whether you're Gad, the so-called Native Americans, or the Benjamin, Levi, all right, because the most, and really all nations are like that. All right, they're earth friendly. Only this damn devil, your wild ass brother, jumping in lakes, wrestling alligators and shit, or Esau Edom, what did it say? He was a cunning hunter. That's y'all wild brother, you know? No, I'm just playing, man. But he is our uncle, you know? That wild ass Esau. He got all type of shows. Well, this man is in the bayous of Louisiana or somewhere in Florida in a damn boat, jumping off the damn boat, tackling the alligator and shit. He got all these animal heads in his damn house. You stay down south, like the Carolinas, like you mentioned, you from Carolina, you stay in Mississippi, man. Man, hunting culture is, oh my gosh, man, it's a spirit of Edom, man. And during hunting season, man, it's all type of hunting gear laid out on the floor at certain Walmarts and shit, man. They even turned the Memphis Pyramid into what? A Bass Pro Shop, man. All right. And to show you how much we are our forefathers, going back to our forefather Jacob and his forefather Esau. Esau loves hunting like Jake loved church. You see? And I just speak as a man. I'm just speaking as a man. But it's a church, it's a so-called church on every corner. But the Most High hid his face from the Israelites, so they don't know who they worship now. All right, they worship Crispus, Serapis, all right? Nonetheless, they're spiritually oriented to worship. But Esau Edom is spiritually oriented to what? Kill, to hunt. Showing you the polarities in those two twins. You know? But Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. If you go into the history, the Israelites had a tent culture. They had a culture of tents. That's why Gad, the so-called Native Americans, is more proof that he's what? Jacob. Because what does Gad have? Teepees. The culture of Esau having tents when he hunts and he does all this hunt stuff, he got that from Gad, man. Because Gad is what? A plain man who dwells in tents. Those teepees. All right? Which was really for migrating, because Gad actually had actual houses, but he was painted as a primitive savage to justify conquering him, man. You see? But the earth will be people friendly in the kingdom after Yahweh Bahashim Al-Shai rids the earth of his fucking counsel. All right? As a brother described it, that the reason why the smoke is going to give off a mushroom cloud, because just like sage that smudges your living room and kill most of the bacteria and the pollutants and the impurities in your house, all right, the nuclear fire is going to produce a smoke in the atmosphere that's going to purge the earth of her impurities, man. Okay? So we're going to experience, although the new heaven and the new earth is talking about a rulership that's going to rule the planet Earth, we're literally going to experience a refurbished earth. Because what does fire do? It cleans and it regenerates. You have a lot of farmers. I used to live in a rural area during the summer times with my grandma, and we'd drive in the Delta, and I see acres and acres of land on fire. And now I understand why their land was on fire, because farmers would do that to rejuvenate the soil. All right, to regenerate the soil. And what that does, after you burn the soil with fire, that brings forth rich minerals in the soil. So when the Most High except for America, when he hits a lot of these places with missiles, right, he's really going to be cleansing the earth, all right, doing some thorough house cleaning. The earth is part of his house, you see. Then that smoke is gonna clean those impurities in the atmosphere that we're breathing. A lot of us have respiratory problems because of the impurities in the atmosphere that we can't see, but yet our body is acting adversely to it. All right, so, all right, thus said Yahweh Basham Shai, man, according to the scriptures, man. All right, and I have reason to believe also that fire is going to refine those gemstones and those minerals, those crystals that we read about in Revelation, like the jasper and the amethyst and the crystal praise, man. Just imagine the earth being replenished and those things coming to surface, man. And we having people to mine those different things, man. All right, they're going to be shiny, they're going to be pretty. It's going to be a beautiful thing, man. All right, but with that, I hope you do, brothers. I do hope you, brothers and sisters, were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Chakodash. I also wanted to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Abba, Abba, Kameh, Shalom.